Welcome to the live stream. I don't think anyone's here yet. Oh no, geez, we got some people here. 1 second, I'm going to try to get set up here. Let's see, what am I doing? So I've got the phone on a tripod this morning and I've got an iPad. I hope I'm going to be able to, I think it's connected, but see if I can see the chats from here. Hey, I'm on Norma. Hey, how you doing, Norman? Norma, sorry, it's cold out here, so I'm stuttering a little bit. Thanks for stopping in. It's a little bit early for you. What is it? It's 8 a.m. for me, so 7 a.m. for you. You're in Toronto? I'm gonna have to get my glass. Actually, 1 second, I'll be able to get these chats. As soon as I bring up this on the iPad, go to the live, and why isn't it showing there? Let me do this. Let me try the YouTube app. Usually can never catch me live. Yeah, this is an odd time of day for me to be doing this, but I wanted to try this out. I wanted to see, okay, my channel. There, that says I'm live. If I click on that, oh, I've got to turn the volume off. There, that says I'm live. If I click on that. Where's the volume? There. You know what? I'm still going to need my glasses. Hang on 1 second. You know what? I think this will work. Okay, 2 sets of glasses. I can see the chat now. Not exactly the way I thought I was going to be able to. So who do we got? Panda Official, hi. K-Starry, Rochelle's here. How you doing, Rochelle? Early for you too. Norma, Real Talk. Hey, Rob from Canberra, Australia. Hassan, welcome. Brian Allen, audio sounds great. Good, because it's really windy today. It's windier than it was the other day. Yes, Toronto sounds good. Peter, hi Rob, how you doing, Peter? Let's see, Oz Travel Log, hi Rob, cheers from Australia. See, that's the thing, if I go live this time of day, you folks in Australia can tune in. If I go in live in the morning or later in the day. So yeah, it's 8 a.m. here in Nova Scotia. Who else we got? We've got Bluefin Adventures, good morning all. Sapphire Blue Travels, how you doing? Glory's Girl, hi Rob, how you doing, Glory? Jason Waits, what is the one best piece of advice you have for a new YouTuber? Don't give up. Don't worry about, I don't have one piece of advice, I've got lots. Waves are very faint, can't hear the wind. Okay, yeah, it's quite windy here, but I've got my back to the wind. I'll pick up the camera in a second and go for a little walk. But actually anyway, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. There was a question. One good piece of advice, Jason. So don't give up. I suggest go live. Well, no, try not to make things too complicated. I guess that's the best thing. People tend to get caught up, or most people tend to get caught up or tripped up with the video editing. I'm worried the wind is going to knock this tripod over. Yeah, so keep things simple, right? Just keep things simple. Keep video editing to a minimum, and just talk to the camera and upload a video. You know, however good or bad you think it might be, just do it, upload it, it's done. Don't worry about what other people think. You're doing it for you anyways. When you first start, nobody's really watching your channel yet anyways, so I wouldn't worry about that. Yeah, just do it. Mostly, okay, so I'm in my 50s. Most of the people who watch my channel are over 40. And if you are over 40, then perhaps you don't give a crap what other people think about what you do, what you look like, what you sound like, and all that stuff anymore, like we used to when we were younger. I remember when I was in my 20s, like I cared a lot what people thought, you know. Had to comb my hair just perfect. Those were the days, eh? all that stuff, right? The way you look, what clothes you wear, all this stuff. I mean, some people take that stuff more serious than others, but I think in general, most people think more about that stuff when they're younger. So don't worry about that. If you're over 40, you probably, maybe you're already thinking that way, but if not, perhaps start thinking that way. Doesn't matter what other people think. So how's that? Let me ask you guys a question. I think Norma already mentioned, but how is my sound? Actually, I'm going to stand up in a second and turn around. Actually, I'll stand up right now. I can pick this up. There, now I'm facing the wind, and that's what I'm looking at. Look at the waves coming in. Lobster boat out there too. What I'd like to know, I sound great. Thank you, Glorious Girl. Perfect, good. So yeah, I've got where is my mic? Yeah, it's right here underneath my sweater. I've got the dead cat on it, and I've got my sweater on it. So that'll take care of a lot of the wind noise. So perfect, yeah. If I didn't have that mic, that DJI mic, then it would be hardly listenable. You wouldn't be able to hear what I mean. The wind noise would be awful just into the iPhone microphone. What else? Oh, I'm streaming at 1080p this time. I'm using Prism Live again. 1080p this time. Last time it was 720p. So does it still work okay? I've got a good signal out here, so it should be working okay. The other thing I've done is I've turned stabilization on. In Prism Live, you have to turn that on separately. There's a setting in there, and there's actually 4 different levels of stabilization you can choose from. And let's see. Oh, you see, there's another fishing boat behind me there to the right, lobster boat. Yeah, so I turned on the lowest setting because the lowest setting chews up less battery, but it should be better than it was the other day. So let me know if that looks all right. Video is great. What mic setup do you use? The DJI mic. It's a wireless mic system. They now have the DJI 2, which is a little more expensive. It's the newer version. I've got the older version, DJI 1. They never called it the 1, but that's what it is. Battery life is amazing. It'll last like 15 hours. You can actually record onto the mic itself instead of through the transmitter, which is plugged into my phone. But that wouldn't help you in a live stream. That helps if you're making a video. But for a live stream, it doesn't matter if you're recording onto the mic or not. Because this is live, it's got to be feeding through my phone, right? What camera are you using? This is the iPhone 16 Pro Max. You know what? I'm going to close this iPad. Just one second here. Let me set you down. Because I can see this just fine from my phone with my glasses on. So let me close this. Put my gloves back on. Bear with me. All right, get these silly sunglasses off my head. There we go. Okay, now I may go back to the iPad, but oh yeah, whoa, look at all the chats that came in. Okay, yeah. Let me just see what else we got here. New Hampshire, how you doing, Andrew? Waves are very faint. Okay, I already saw that. Saturday evening here in Australia. Perfect. Great time to be on live. Hi, Jamie's Thrift and Decor. Hello, Peter. Lunchtime in the UK. James Outdoors from the UK. You survived the bugs. Yeah, and there's no bugs today. It's way too windy for bugs, which is good. Hi from Halifax, half century self. I'm close. I'm in St. Margaret's Bay. There's a sale on DJI Mic 2 on Amazon right now, $389 Australian dollars. I checked the Amazon Canada, there's a sale on there as well. Perfect. But you know what? Yeah, that's perfect for you guys, but I'm sticking with this one because I only bought this last September, I think. August, September, and it works great. It works great. I know the DJI 2, what's the difference? I think 1 more hour of battery life. So like 16 hours instead of 15, but I mean, that's a long time either way. But there's also, I think they call it 32-bit float, which is in the new one. All that means is if you have your gain set too high when you're recording and that results in clipping, you know what I mean, distortion, because you had your level set too high. You can't fix that in a DJI that I have, but you can fix that in the DJI 2. It's a, I don't know how it works, but you can adjust it afterwards. So that would be handy. If that's interested to you, then Peter, 16-hour live stream, you can do it, Rob. No, I can't. 16 hours. I would need to have a battery bank plugged into this phone. Aussie English Steph, I am 17 subs for monetization. It has taken me years. Oh my, you sound great. Awesome. I'm going backwards now. Morning in Minnesota. Holy cow, I think that's 2 hours from me. So 6 a.m. for you. Well done. Let's see. I know I'm missing some here, but wow, a few Aussies in the chat. Aussie English with Steph. Yeah, that's because, yeah, there's not going to be very many Americans this time because it's too early on a Saturday morning. Wasn't by design. Actually, the next time I do this will probably be in the evening. I like this, doing this out here. All kinds of lobster boats. One there, behind me there, and if I turn this way, there's one there, there's two there. Hello from California. It's just after 4 a.m. You need to go back to bed. It's just after 4. Kate does nature as well. Yeah, that's pretty early. My son and I are going to BC in about a month. Little golfing trip. Let's see. Okay, I'm going backwards again. What's the temp? Norma, it is, I got that on my watch, 8 degrees Celsius. A little chilly, but I've got my running gloves on, so I can actually scroll with them, which is nice. I'm up at 4 every day. Wow. Okay, that's you beat me. I'm usually just after 6. Good for you though. I feel like, I don't know, do you guys think this way? I feel like, I mean, when I was younger, okay, yeah, I'd go out, go out to the bars and stuff, university, had good time and all that. Typically would sleep in on the weekends, right? But as I get older, I mean, kids are gone now for the most part. They're still close, but moved out. And I don't know, I just feel like as I get older, I feel like get up with the sun, go down with the sun. Like, is that stupid? I mean, people give me a hard time for wanting to go to bed at 9 or 10 o'clock, but I'd get up at 5:30, 6. Like, I wake up on my own. So, it's actually a nice time of the day because, you have the day to yourself. Like here, I came out here. I was going to come out an hour earlier than this, but I waited a bit because of the temperature, waiting for it to get up a little bit warmer. But yeah, anyways, that's the way I think at this age. My family's much the same, even the dogs. That is me every day, Rob. Very good. Yeah, I think it might be an age thing. I don't know. It is with me anyways. That has changed over the years. North Carolina's here. How you doing, Jim? Tennessee, Ron Durant. How you doing? Let's see. Who else we got? Sorry if I've missed you, but yeah, I wouldn't have to get up so close like this if I had the iPad. Maybe I'll set this down and sit back again. Just kind of checking out that lobster boat. Just see if I missed any other question. What's the temp? Okay, yes, I answered that, so I'm back to there. Using a wind muffler outdoors is always the best practice. Yep. Let's see. Question, Rob, do you use a wind muff on your mic? Yes, I do. I've got 2 wind muffs on this mic. I've got my regular one and my sweater. There it is right there. So, works great. My eyes are starting to water. Queensland, Australia. How you doing, Mel? Mel Ray? Just tuning in from Australia, about to go to sleep. Yeah, oh, yeah, I guess it's late Saturday night there now. This boat looks like it's going to come aground. So lobstering, just so you know, in case those are interested, lobster's big around here. Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, PEI, Maine in the United States, lobster's big. And the way it works here in Nova Scotia, here in the South Shore of Nova Scotia, I'm tracking that boat. Got a wave out of him. Yeah, let's make him famous. Actually, you'll get to see him. I don't think I can zoom this in, but you'll be able to see him pull up a trap. But the way it works is each lobster license here, you're allowed 250 traps, and they all have to be buoyed separately. They each have their own separate line. There, you just hauled up a trap there. What they're going to do is they're going to haul that into the boat. They're going to take out any lobster that might be in it. They're going to rebait it with, I don't know what, like I forget what they use, like fish or maybe crabs or something. They stick on a spike and they throw it back in. So he's probably going to drive a little bit farther to another. They usually drag it maybe 50 feet and drop it in a slightly different spot. And yeah, if you have a full lobster license, you'll have 250 of those and you'll check them every day. Oh wow, geez, we got 3 boats in one shot. That's cool. So he hasn't dropped it yet. Must be good lobstering here. As the water warms up, there'll be a lot of seals in this area too. Drop your trap, buddy. There goes the buoy, and there goes the trap. Awesome, cool, exciting. So yeah, and then what happens is, yeah, the season is 6 months long. It's from 1st of December to the end of May, so they only have another week or so left before they're not allowed to fish lobster anymore. But the season rotates around this province. I don't know how it works in other provinces or Maine, but here it rotates. So, but yeah, that's what lobster fishermen do, and they make a good living in 6 months. Actually, they don't even fish here in the coldest months. They'll do a month in December, but then the water's too cold and the lobster don't move. They're kind of dormant. Maybe they hibernate a little bit, I guess, but they don't tend to crawl into the traps when the water's cold. So they wait until around the middle of April, and then they fish for a month and a half, last half of April and all of May, and that's enough to sustain them for a year. Anyways, you didn't come here to learn about that. Just thought I'd, is there whales there? Sometimes small ones come in, pilot whales or minke whales, but not the big ones because we're a little bit too deep into St. Margaret's Bay. It's a deep bay. I mean, I think on average it's maybe 200 feet deep, but there's a hole out there that's over 400 feet deep, but it's kind of narrow to get in here, so the waves are a little bit smaller than they would be in the open ocean, and the big whales don't come in here. But we do get tuna. There have been shark sightings, although there's never been a recorded attack on a human by a shark in Canada, as far as I believe. I'm going to knock on wood. If I had wood, I'd knock on it, but because I go swimming all the time. But anyway, tuna, lots of tuna here. Lots of sunfish, which are big, ugly fish. But anyway, lots of mackerel. That's what we get here. Just started the live. Do you have whale? Oh, I already answered that one. Let's see. Beach live stream looks lovely. Sapphire blue, years, I'll be patient. Early 50s and still a night owl. That lobster boat is coming in to say hi. Yeah, and he waved. I hope I wasn't blocking the wave. Question from Ron. What is your recommendation if someone wants to take a break from their channel to regroup if they are not monetized? My recommendation would be to take that break. Take a break, and I'm going to set this down over here. So there's my backpack with my stuff in it. If I can find a level spot here and angle this down a little bit. There, hopefully that. There, I'm still in frame. Okay, I can't read that, but I'll be able to read it on the iPad. So yeah, my advice would be to take that break because your mental health is important. And you can easily get burnt out if you don't take breaks, right? So let me see if I can bring this up and. Okay, yeah. So take the break. In terms of regrouping, yeah, give it some time. Think about what maybe you might want to change or do differently, because you know, maybe there's a different type of content you want to start making. Which is totally fine. Is that good? Yeah, just kind of reevaluate what you're doing and what your plan is, what your strategy is. And then when you start back up again, you'll be rejuvenated. And if you decide that you're going to make slightly different content, you can, if it's just slightly different, you can, still do it on the same channel and maybe do a video kind of saying what you're going to do. Yeah, I'm going to change things around, and here's my new strategy. And because I did that. I took several breaks. That's going to fall. Let me put this down a little bit. I took several breaks because things weren't going as smoothly, or it wasn't happening fast enough for me. So I found that really hard to stay motivated. But once I did come up with a plan, and I felt rejuvenated enough to give it another go, yeah, I hit the ground running, and it paid off. So. And my plan was 3 videos a week, 1 live stream every week, and I started that last March, over a year ago, and I've been doing that ever since. And I think I was at maybe 2,500 or so subscribers when I started that. That many subscribers, but not the watch hours I needed to be monetized, because I had started like 3.5 years before that. So it had lots of time, and I had a bunch of videos up there. And over time, if you leave your videos on your channel long enough, they will get views, but not enough to get your watch hours. Okay, so you will get views, you will get subscribers, but after a long period of time, they're not even as important as the watch hours if you want to get monetized and if you want to grow your channel. And if anything, when I started it up again, of the 2,500 or so subscribers I had at the time, I would say most of them weren't even current anymore, if that makes, you know what I mean? Like when I started making videos again, yes, it was kind of on the same topic, just slightly different, a little bit more focused, a little bit more polished. But somebody who subscribed to me 2 years prior, they may have moved on, right? Maybe they're not even on YouTube anymore. Maybe they're onto a different piece of software, right? Because it was software that I was teaching at the time. So anyways, I hope that helped. That was a long-winded answer. But Peter, shark attacks are usually because the shark is curious. They might take a small bite to see. Yeah, I don't even want them to take a small bite. But actually, there was a young lady, I think, who was bitten in the leg off of Cape Breton a few years ago. Remember, that made the news. But yeah, no, I think she was swimming like way offshore by an offshore island, uninhabited, where a whole bunch of seals typically hang out, right? Well, seals are food for sharks, so that's probably not the smartest thing. We get seals in here. They're curious, right? They're just small ones, like they're called harbor seals. They're very curious. They'll pop their head up and just kind of look around, especially if you're out sailing, they'll follow you. We get porpoise, a lot of porpoise here, which are like dolphins, but they're darker in color, around 5-6 feet long or something like that. Are you still using Camtasia, Claudio? Yes, I am. Love Camtasia. I've tried CapCut, and I'll probably revisit that again because I know it's very popular. I've tried DaVinci Resolve. That's quite a bit more complicated, and I find it's powerful, but I find it's hard to learn, and it takes a long time to do simple things. I find, like, animations to me is the hardest thing to do on any other video editing app except Camtasia. It makes it super easy. So that's why I continue to use Camtasia. Seals are not a fan of sharks. No, they are not. But the thing is, the seals, the mackerel are starting to run, or they're about to start to run. Run meaning they're coming in, and I guess they're being born and they're coming into the bay. They usually bring the seals in. The seals will chase the mackerel. People chase the mackerel because they're great food. Throw them on the barbecue. Small little things, but red chat. Oh, hey, from Perth, Western Australia. How you doing, Frankie? Camera is moving. I'm still nervous it'll fall. Yeah. So I'm using, I don't know if I have a link to it below in this description. I think I do, but I've recently upgraded my what I hold when I do my walk and talks. I used to use the Joby, which I will still use, but I bought this selfie stick that doubles as a tripod. That's what it's on right now. So it's a plastic thing. I think it's 22 bucks US, and it's super handy. Actually, why don't I just show it to you? Why don't I show it to you? I'll take the phone off without pressing any buttons. There. That's what I've got it on. That selfie stick there. So it's on that, and then I've got the bottom. So that you just pull that up to extend it. And I've got the phone clipped onto that with my quad lock case. So I'll put that back on. But it shouldn't fall. Let's lower it a little bit more just to get it out of the wind. All right. That might be too low. 56 people in here. Awesome. I wonder what the percentage is where you guys are from. Lots of Aussies in here, which is awesome. Any New Zealanders? No, I put that too low. Angle it back up a little bit. Your stick looks pretty light too. Yes, it is. There is a beefier one that might be a little more sturdy that's made out of metal, but this is plastic. It does the job. So what time is it in your country? Polar. It is 8:30 in the morning, Saturday morning. Got to say what day, because I guess we're about to roll into Sunday, I think, in some places. Nicola Recipes. Hi, Rob. How you doing, Nicola? Sophia. Caught you live, Rob. Yes, Sophia's in Portugal. Right behind me. A couple thousand miles. Sharks don't tend to call into CBS to say hey, just to let you know, I ate a guy earlier today, so I'm good the rest of the day. You know, what does CBS stand for? Coast Guard or something like that, maybe? Are you having lobster today for your daughter's birthday? No, her birthday is next month. So another few weeks and I will be having lobster. And I haven't had it since last year's birthday. I mean, even though it's right here, you can go, I mean, I've snorkeled around here, and you can see them on the ground. I mean, they're not all over the place, but you know, good size ones. I mean, if you feel brave enough, you can pick it up and bring it into the house and boil it and eat it. I don't think there's any laws against that. But you're not allowed to set a trap. That's big time against the law. That's reserved for the fishermen who have licenses, and you can't even buy a license anymore. Unless somebody is selling theirs, then you can buy it from them. So, and it's been that way for quite a while, just to keep control of the lobster population. But I think it's doing just fine. Let's see, any other questions that I missed? Probably. I don't think I'll be able to go all the way back up. Okay, let's go back to current, and I'll stay current with you guys. I'm in Mid-Atlantic, Virginia. Awesome. Norma says, whenever I go to Halifax, I grab lobster at the airport on the way home. I've done that too. Actually, the first time I ever had lobster was when I was in my 20s. I was living in Mississauga, and I was home to see my parents for a couple weeks, I guess. And on the way back to Ontario, I bought some at the airport in Halifax and took them home and ate them with some friends. And I decided, I think I was like 27. It's the first time I ever had it. Growing up, it's like, why would you eat that? No, I want a hamburger. While my parents were eating lobster. But what was I was missing my whole younger years. Snorkeling, how does that work? There's a hole in the top. Doesn't it fill with water when you go under the water? Yes, it would. So the key is, when you go underwater, don't breathe. And what you do, if you do, I mean, I'm not very good at that. But yeah, you can put a mask on and snorkel and flippers. I don't have a wetsuit. I just do it with a bathing suit. Again, it doesn't. I only do it in the summer, but the water's warm enough here to do that. And if I do go down like that, what you do when you come back up is you blow out the water that filled up in your snorkel, right? You blow it out, then you can breathe. If you can't, I'm not good at blowing it all out, so you can take it out of your mouth and kind of spit out this. I mean, It's salt water, right? It's very salty. Do not want to drink it. Drinking salt water just makes you thirsty. So defeats the purpose. Sapphire Blue Travels, do you use, I'm experimenting with, use ChatGPT to help tweak SEO performance. Been pretty insightful, even for small tweaks and titles of thumbnails. Yes, I use ChatGPT. I used it a lot yesterday to figure this out, to get the stabilization working, to get the 1080p working. Oh, the other thing is, hopefully this live chat gets saved, because it was not saved last time, and it was because I just went live when I got here last time. This time I scheduled it, and I think you have to schedule it from YouTube Studio and make sure that you've checked live chat is on, live chat replay is on. So I did that this time. So fingers crossed, when I stop this and I go back home, I'll check it, and hopefully all of these chats will be saved. So why use a snorkel? It's no different to just taking a deep breath and then diving. I'll tell you why. Because most of the time when I snorkel, I don't dive down anyways. I'm just basically hovering on the surface of the water, not hovering, but floating, swimming along the surface with my face down, snorkel up, and you can do that forever because I'm breathing and I can look at the bottom from the top. I don't typically want to go down and pick anything up unless I find something of interest, but for the most part, you're just snorkeling around on the top and you never have to lift your head up. So that's why. Snorkel is great for that. What do you use when you're walking? Do you use your phone on a stick? What is your stick? Is there a link in your description? Yes, I use the, what's it called? Yukos. The Yukos 62-inch tripod / selfie stick. That's what my phone is on right now. And that's what I got that like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I love it. It's great. It's not expensive. I think it was $22 or $23 US. Yeah, that's what I use now, and it's nice. What I used before was the Joby tripod, which is cool because it's got the flexible legs, so you can set it on any surface. Like this one, it only has the 3 legs, and I can't adjust it, so I have to make sure it's on a level spot. So I've got some rocks under one side of it, and but it's working, and it's fairly windy here, so yeah, so that works for me. Snorkeling is the best in the Florida Keys. Yes, I imagine it is. I snorkeled in oh God, where was Costa Rica? Gosh, 25 years ago. Beautiful, beautiful. Love Costa Rica. Want to go back. But yeah, the snorkeling, the water was so clear, as it is in Florida, and the colorful fish that you can see. Like the water isn't as clear here, and I don't know why that is. Does the water get cold? And I don't know. Actually, I think, now I don't have an explanation for this, but I think maybe the salt content in the ocean is higher in Florida. Does that make sense? I could be way off. If somebody knows, let me know. Maybe that makes it more magnified and easier to see, because I know in Florida and Costa Rica, you can look down and you can see the bottom clear as day, even if it's 50 feet down. You can't see 50 feet down here. You can't see much beyond 15 feet, unless, especially if it's been raining. A lot of rain and fresh water, that murkies the water here. But if it hasn't rained in a long time and the water is, I guess, saltier, less fresh water on the top before it mixes in. Anyways, what am I talking about that for? Because you asked. What's the risk of a faceless channel? There's no risk, really. Well, I guess depending on how you make them. I mean, you want to make sure you use royalty-free stuff when you're making a faceless channel. When I think faceless channel, I think of AI-generated channels. I know there are faceless channels that aren't AI. You can still use your own voice, but maybe show your hands if you're crafting or something. That's a faceless channel. But I don't have anything against faceless channels. I don't see them as a risk. But if you want to grow a channel, then the best way to grow a channel is not to go faceless, because anybody can go faceless. Anybody can make AI videos. So what makes yours any different than anybody else? Every topic in the world has been covered on YouTube. It's not like you can come up with something brand new, unless you go down the lane of entertainment, and you can provide entertainment some way, like comedy or something if you've got a shtick, I don't know, like if there's something unique about your videos and the way you make them, but it's so much harder to find something like that or to make something like that. If you're gonna provide information, which is typically what people are on YouTube looking for, help for information, I gotta remind myself to look at that green dot, not the center of the camera, but maybe I'm far enough away you can't tell anyways. Yeah, so what differentiates people? Like if you put yourself in your videos and you talk to the camera, now you are the difference maker. Okay, now it's going to take some getting used to. A lot of people aren't comfortable doing that, and that's what I'm trying to help with. I'm trying to help people get over this because I went through it. A year ago, I wasn't making videos like this. Well, this is a live stream, but I was doing live streams, not as confidently as I am now. But the videos I make now, a lot of them are me walking and talking or just chatting to the phone without a script. I wasn't doing that a year ago. I forced myself to do it because I knew I wanted to learn how to do it, and I knew that would be the key to growing a channel. Because now it's not necessarily my information people are coming here for. Yes, they are, but why do you guys come to watch my videos versus somebody else who's teaching the same thing I'm teaching, right? I feel like it's me, right? I'm not to toot my own horn, but like everybody's tastes are different. Some people like to watch me because, you know, I'm a little bit rough around the edges when it comes to speaking. I don't feel like I speak perfectly. I'll trip over my words sometimes. I will say and ah a lot. I don't speak fast. Like, these may all sound like negatives, and maybe I shouldn't be saying it like that because I don't think of them as negatives anymore. It's characteristics is what they are. My characteristics. It's the way I am. And some people prefer to listen to me than somebody who's speaking faster, than somebody who's younger. So anyways, you get my point. I'm unique. Every human on this planet is unique and has the potential to go on YouTube, making videos or going live, and teaching or teaching whatever you want, talking about whatever you want, helping people with the things you're good at or the things you have knowledge about. And there will be, I truly believe, there's an audience out there for everybody. There's an audience out there for you. You just have to make yourself available so that YouTube can help find them for you. So anyway, there's my sermon for the day. Good afternoon from Finland, our flies. How you doing? 238 there. You're much more relatable. For some people I am, for some people I'm not, and that's okay. The people who don't like me they're the ones that will leave a negative comment and stuff, and that's okay. It doesn't bother me because, you know, what are there? 8 billion people on this planet? There's probably I think there's over 1 billion YouTube accounts out there. Only a very, 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 very small fraction of people am I looking for, and you should be looking for. Just that very tiny, small fraction of people who you resonate with, right? That's all you need to grow a successful channel. Aussie English with Steph. Good night and good morning. Thanks, Rob. No problem. Good night or good morning. Oh, good night for you. Good morning for me. You give information, snorkeling, LOL. You try to encourage us to start, and you give us reason to start a channel. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know I was going to talk about snorkeling today, and you probably didn't expect to learn about snorkeling today, or sharks, or tuna, or lobsters. My channel just started to gain a little traction after weeks of 0 views. Awesome. Way to go. I know a lot of people, myself included, consider Rob as a mentor. My most recent video, I discussed how Rob is one of my mentors and how he teaches things. Thank you, Peter. I appreciate that. I've got mentors too, and I made a similar video. And a lot of them talk about the same things that I do, maybe in a different way, maybe a slightly different focus. I feel like my focus may continue to go more towards these live streams and helping people with these. I've been threatening to make a video on how to live stream for the longest time, and people are going to start to get upset at me if I don't make it soon. But yeah, no, I'm having fun and learning this stuff too. So, and that's the thing too. When you have a channel, if you're struggling with something, with an idea as to what you want to have your channel about, like a niche, think about a journey. Think about documenting your journey. That's kind of what I'm doing. I mean, I'm figuring this live stream stuff out as I go, and I'm telling you what I learn as I go. I'm sharing my journey with you, right? And I've been doing that for over a year, from 2,500 subscribers to 60,000 subscribers and growing, right? And I'm just going to continue to share what I learn in the hopes that it helps you guys. Wow, I'm shocked to see you live. Hooray. Yeah. It's Saturday morning. Actually, maybe I shouldn't be live much longer, just because I don't want to get into Nick Nimmin territory. He streams live Saturday mornings. Do it. Live stream is still a bit of a mystery to me. Yeah, it's and it's daunting, right? But really, it's the easiest video you'll ever make, because it's done when you're done, right? When I press stop here, this live is over, and it's now a video available for people to watch on the replay. So yeah, live streams are the easy, and they're great for getting watch hours. If anybody is struggling with getting their watch hours, live streaming is a great way to do it. A good thing to consider when starting a YouTube channel is to remember that it can be whatever you want it to be. You are making videos that give you enjoyment, and that in turn gives others enjoyment. That's true. Yeah, videos gives me enjoyment for sure. You do have to be careful though. I can't just make only videos that I want to make. I mean, in a perfect world, the videos I want to make are the videos that people want to watch. But especially starting out, you really want to kind of shift that focus a little bit and make sure you're making videos that people will want to watch. Okay? A lot of times people will get caught up in wanting to just document their life, not necessarily helping people learn something, or just, you know what I mean? If you can switch that focus a little bit and talk to your audience and help them understand things about your life as you're talking about your life, that's a better way to do it. That's the type of video people will be more apt to want to watch and want to come back to watch more of, right? The lobster boat is back. Does posting time matter? Only in the sense that whatever your audience starts to get used to, then you want to keep posting probably around the same time for your audience if you have one. Until you have an audience, no, it probably doesn't matter that much. I would try different things, because just like what I'm doing right here, I usually go live Tuesdays at 2 o'clock Atlantic time, and that is great for people in North America and even Europe and the UK, but not so much for people in Australia, which we have a lot of Aussies in here today. But now that I've streamed, I started this one at 8 a.m. and I did one a few days ago at, I think it was around 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. Then, this one, 8 a.m. in Atlantic Canada, is not good for most of North America, certainly not good for West Coast North America, like California or British Columbia, because it's 4 or 5 a.m. there, right? So try different times until you find out what lands best, where your audience is. Now, my audience, you can check your analytics, and I've checked mine. Over 50% of my audience is from the States. So, and second place is around 9 or 10%, and it's not Canada, it's the UK. And then Canada, I think, is third. So because of that, I have to keep that in mind. That's probably the best time for me to post videos, when those people are online. I'll show you the boat again. For those who are new, that guy right there is fishing for lobster. And the one out further, I don't know if you can see off the point. It's a little bit odd for me because I've got this set up, it's mirrored, right? So that I can see myself as like looking in a mirror, but that means everything is kind of backwards to you. But anyways, pretty cool. He waved earlier. Let's put this back where it was. Shouldn't have picked it up, but I wanted to show you. Is that right? These granite rocks are hard on the butt. Should bring a cushion next time. All right, how we doing? We haven't been on an hour yet. The iPad's at 83%. I can't tell what the phone is. Oh, just so you know, when I live streamed the other night, it was for 90 minutes, just from my phone. I did not have an iPad. And my battery in my phone went from 80% to 25%. So it chews up battery quite quickly. It might chew it up a little faster now that I have this iPad. The only way I'm getting the chat on this iPad is because I have it using my cell phone's hotspot. Okay, that's how this is getting internet. So the cell phone is doing double duty. It's sending an internet feed to this iPad, and it's live streaming through Prism Live, so another app that's running, and sending that up to YouTube through the cell phone towers. So that's how I'm doing this. So it'll be interesting to see. I think my battery was 95% when I started it. That battery was. This one was around 95 as well, and it's at 82 now. So when this is over, I'll check what the battery power was on the phone, and I'll put it in the comments. Alrighty, what do we got here? Question, Rob, this is a cooking channel. My 35 years is in biz and running a global fitness and events company, which I lost to pandemic. I want to help others and share experience, etc. Must I start another channel? Yeah, if what you want to do now is different than what your channel initially was about, yeah. So you said I want to help others and share experience, etc. And your channel currently is a cooking channel. So if you're going to be getting out of the cooking altogether, then you might want to change, unless, I guess it depends on how many subscribers you have, right? If you don't have many, then you could probably just continue that channel and change its name if you want. But if you had a significant following and it's been kind of dormant for a while, and now you want to start making videos about something else, and that's going to be your focus, then you might want to look at starting another channel. Only because when you release your first video and it goes up to YouTube, it's your subscribers who will be notified about it first. And if they're only interested in cooking, not interested in your new stuff, they won't watch and they won't click. And that's going to send bad signals to YouTube because YouTube measures the response from your subscribers. And they use that response when figuring out if they should push your video out anymore or not. Okay, so if it doesn't get well received by your existing subscribers, YouTube is going to think, okay, it must not be a very good video, not knowing that it's because it's a completely different topic, and YouTube won't push it out anymore. It might land flat. So for that reason, if it's going to be different content, put a better way, if it's going to be for a different audience, your new videos, I would start a new channel. Unless you only have like one subscriber on that channel, then you know it's just started. Even if you have like, I'm going to say even if you have, you know, fewer than 20 subscribers, you could probably just rename your current one and go from there. What else we got here? How many people do we have in here? This one doesn't tell me, but this does. 70 people. Wow. Thank you, guys. We hit 84 on, was it Wednesday night? 84 people, which was amazing. I couldn't believe that. Recipes make me hungry every time I watch Nicola's videos. Alan has a question. I notice when my click rate goes down, my retention rate increases. Doesn't make sense? Well, if you think about it, it might make sense. Think about it this way. Regardless of what the click-through rate, well, no. If your click-through rate goes down, there are still people clicking, okay, just not as many. Perhaps the people who are clicking are bigger fans of yours than the ones who aren't. So when you get subscribers, you're going to have some people who are super fans and they watch every minute of every video you ever make. And then you're going to have people not super fans, but fans or viewers who, okay, yeah, this looks interesting, I'll watch this one, but maybe not the next one, right? So you're going to have a myriad of different types of subscribers with different levels of interest in your content. So your click-through rate may be down. So that would suggest right off the bat that maybe your title and thumbnail it's not performing as well as your other ones. Now, that might not be entirely the fault of the title and thumbnail. It might just be that the subject matter of that video isn't as interesting to most of your subscribers. So anyways, be that as it may, the people who are clicking on this lower click-through rate video, those are probably your super fans. They'll watch anything you make. So when they get in, and if it's only those people getting in, and they're probably going to watch all your video. You see what I'm saying? So that's why your retention rate might be higher, because it's only your super fans who are actually clicking and getting in. I actually never thought about that, but just talking it out, it kind of makes sense. Maybe I'll make a video about that, Alan. Maybe you should make a video about that too. So yeah, anyway, if that makes sense, let me know. Alan, where in the Phils? Oh, I thought it said where is the Phils. Alan is in the Philippines, which is cool. Never been myself. Let's see, we got Weechi Marquez. Hey Rob. Hey Weechi, how you doing? It's struggling so much, I'm picking a niche. Yeah, that's the hardest part, but once you get going, it should come easier. Adventure with me, haha, I'm your super fan. Every minute of your videos, easy watch, 100% of the live streams. You're just generally a comfort watch. I appreciate that, thank you very much. I appreciate all you guys, thank you. This is a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. Making videos like this and then going live to connect with your audience. It's super gratifying, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun. It's a great hobby, and by the way, can also be a great way to earn an income, whether it's side hustle or part-time income or just a little mad money, or if you really want to go hard at it, it could be a full-time income. Whatever you want to do, but at its core, it's fun. You get to meet a lot of people. I love it. Makes sense, Alan says. Awesome. Philippines is sensational. I bet it is. I've never been on that side of the world. I've only really been in North America, Costa Rica. I was in Europe, UK, Rome, but that's pretty much it. I haven't traveled the globe. Maybe someday. Let's see. Live streams show potential brands how relatable you are and how easy your viewers engage with you. That's a good point, Peter. It does. I don't really think of it that way. I certainly don't think about it in terms of brands, but it's just a great way to connect with your audience. Another way for them, because if you just make videos, right? If you make good videos, people will watch, they'll subscribe, and they'll watch more. Like, that's kind of the way it works. This whole live stream thing just levels it up, right? It's, my next video that I make, I'm hoping to make one for Monday. Yeah, if I'm only making videos, you have to wait video to video. But now with live streams, I can talk about that. Like, I can let you guys know, I'm hoping to have a video out on Monday. I will have a live stream on Tuesday. I'm going to have a live stream on Wednesday too. This coming Wednesday is another dock party, another members only live, which I'll be doing from my office. I thought about doing them from out here, but if people ask questions and want me to share my screen, it's best if I'm in my office. I haven't figured out how to share a screen yet from out here. Maybe I will on a warmer day. But yeah, I can let you guys know what's going on. And it fosters the connection. It strengthens the connection that I have with you guys, that you guys have with me. So yeah, lives are huge. Great way to teach if that's what you want to do, and just hang out with your online friends. Have you tried streaming in vertical mode yet, Rob? No, I haven't. You certainly can. I don't feel like it's for me. But again, got to make videos for my audience, right? If anybody wants to know how to do that, let me know and I'll do that. It's really not, I don't see it as being all that difficult. You just have to turn your phone this way. So I'm using Prism Live. It's a free software you can download, and it's a lot easier. I found it a lot easier than just the YouTube app to go live on my phone. And with the Prism Live app, but also with the YouTube app, when you go live, if you want to go live vertically, you just have to start with your phone vertically when you click go live or press go live. So for this one, I have to start with it this way when I press go live. Okay, and other than that, but the only thing is, like, my channel is not so much geared towards vertical content like shorts are. Most people watch my videos in widescreen, so you know, if this live were done vertically, then if you watched it on a computer, there would be those gray or black bars or whatever color they would be on the sides, and the vertical piece would just be in the middle. So I don't love that look, but you know, I suppose if you're watching that on a phone and you turn your phone vertically, then it would fill up the whole screen. So anyway, yeah, let me know if you guys want me to do a video on that, and I will. Let's see, did I miss anything here? Never trust a person who doesn't love dogs. The most loyal animals on the planet. So I have a cat, but I do love dogs. I had a beautiful dog. She passed 8-9 years ago now. Winter was her name. She was half Samoyed, half Australian Shepherd. Beautiful, smartest dog. Yeah, Winter is missed. And I never had cats growing up, but I do now. Peanut, I'm never bringing her out to this beach. I'd never, an eagle would probably pick her up or something. Let's see. I not only enjoy your casual talks, Rob, but I learn a lot from you. Plans for my cooking is not relying on YouTube. I am working on a blog. But as you said, I'll start another for sharing business experience. Good idea. Good idea, Nicola. Good luck with that. Have fun with it. I need to live stream again. You gave me the motivation with your channel to do them. Awesome. Good luck with that. I did get around 20 subscribers over a few days of posting one. Just feels a lot of planning of talk. Yeah, so you do have to plan for a live stream. I mean, you guys make this so easy on me at this point because there's always people that come. So 76 people now. Awesome. That's cool. Thanks, guys, for sharing your Saturday morning with me, or Saturday evening if you're in the Philippines and Australia. Yeah, it's easy when people show up because ask questions, I answer, and you guys are giving me the content to talk about, really. But when you're just starting out, you have to be prepared to talk to nobody, which is, it's totally fine. Like, start your video or your live stream as if you're making a video, like introduce yourself and all this stuff. What you're going to talk about, and just be prepared to talk about something or demonstrate something. And you don't have to go live for long. And if it just doesn't work out the first time you try to go live, and you bomb spectacularly, and you can stop it. There may not be anybody in there, but you can stop the live, you can end it, you can go into your YouTube studio, and you can delete it. So there's always that. So I wouldn't worry about that. So there you go. Wow. Okay, I'm behind now in the with me, usually when you go live, the chat just takes you on the journey. Maybe start with a few bullet points to discuss and just roll with it. Exactly. That's what I'm doing. I'm just rolling with it. Actually, I wrote down some bullet points, but I didn't even get to them. They weren't really they were just, I think I did cover them. It was basically what I did differently in this live stream versus Wednesdays. So hopefully, I'm looking forward to getting back to the office to see how the stabilization is, if it's better. And I'm also interested to see how low my battery is getting on my phone, because if it gets too low, I can't bring a battery pack because I have my DJI receiver plugged into my phone. I would need a dongle where I could, like a splitter, so I could plug that and a battery. Anyways, hopefully this is fine with the battery. We'll see. Otherwise, I just won't live stream for any, so Wednesdays was 90 minutes, and again, it went from 80 to 25%. What's that? 55%. So that was 90 minutes. that's fine. I mean, so yeah, I could probably easily do 3 hours out here if I wanted to, and I won't on a day like this, but who knows, in the summer when it's nicer. I plan on doing one of these lives in the boat once I get that in the water. That'd be cool. I could go to an island where nobody will be around, or just bob out in the bay, maybe drop a line in the water and try to catch some mackerel. That'd be fun. You want me to do that? Try to go mackerel fishing out in the middle of the bay and do live while I do that. Let me know. Probably won't fish. I'm not much of a fisherman. I don't like taking them off the hook. I mean, that's just me. Lots of people do it. I love to eat fish. I like it with somebody else. I'll catch them. Somebody else can take it off the hook. Somebody else can clean it. I'll even cook it. I'll barbecue it. Here's a question. Home Gym Physique. How many YouTube channels can you create under one email account? I've heard some YouTubers have dozens of YouTube channels, but how do they verify their accounts? Multiple phones? No, you can have as many channels under your account as you want. I don't think there's a limit, but yeah, people have dozens sometimes. I don't know why you'd ever want that many, but as long as you set your channel up as now, I've heard this called two different things, either a business channel or a brand channel, not a personal channel. If it's personal, then it's just one, you can only have the one channel and it's attached to your email address, your personal email address. But if you set it up as a business account or a brand account, that will allow you in the future, if you ever want to, have somebody else help you manage your account. Like you could have people like give somebody else a login with, they can log into your studio with their email address. If you set it up that way, I don't do that. I do everything myself. But what was I trying to say? Yeah, if you set it up that way, you can create several channels, yeah, under one email address. You log in, you only have one Google account, one YouTube account, but then multiple channels within that account. Okay? So that's how you do it. Lego Tours, I was just live. Were you? Awesome. How'd it go? Have fun? Sorry I missed it because I was live too. 2 channels per phone number to verify it. Really? I didn't think so. No, I know because I have I think I have, like I've got an old channel from when my daughter was into curling more, and then I have mine. There's one under my main name. I started to create one for my cat, Peanut's Perspective. That I didn't do anything with that, but that still exists. There's this one, and then there's the Rob by the Sea channel. So I've got like 5 or so channels in my one account, one phone number, one email address login. So yeah, that's. Good morning, Brother Rob, watching from Jamaica. Good morning, VYBZ39TV. Welcome. Thanks for stopping in. Question, why did you choose Tuesday afternoon to live stream instead of prime time? Good question. Well, I kind of leaned on YouTube Studio a little bit. I went in there and I found out when my audience was typically available and watching my videos. Yeah, it's not prime. I mean, when is prime time, right? Prime time is different depending on where you are in the world. Okay, so my audience is largely in the United States so that's probably, I'm going to say 55%. I don't think it's 60, but it's over 50. Let's call it 55%. 10% in the UK, so that's 65. Another 8% or so in Canada. We're up close to 75%. So in that area there. So I want to make sure it works for them. So 2 o'clock, so 1 o'clock Eastern to go live so Eastern United States, like New York, Boston. 1 o'clock there is like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in Europe. Okay, so that works. That's in the evening for them. It's in the daytime for the US. And then I just thought, you know what? Like I'm not, like it's impossible to pick a perfect time for everybody. And I feel like a lot of people who want to start YouTube channels are probably on YouTube during the day. Like maybe, and especially the people who watch my channel are typically over 40, over 50, maybe some are, a good portion are probably retired, maybe home during the day anyways. So, or maybe are that far along in their careers that they have the ability to, or the flexibility to log on to YouTube in the middle of the day while they're working, taking a break, stuff like that. So I wanted to do it at a time that works for as many people as possible, and I feel like this works. So like for example, so we're up to 82 people now here, which is cool. I was at 84 Wednesday night, and the Tuesday 1 o'clock Eastern ones, I've been getting 130, 150 even. So it works. Maybe I'll try a Tuesday, but at a different time and announce it, give it even more. I don't know. Like it just works. I don't want to mess with a good thing because it does continue to grow and whatnot. So anyway, that's a little bit about why I chose that time. But the time for you might be different than it is for me. Anybody? Oh, that boat is still kicking around. It's over here now. He's got a lot of traps around here. I see 83, but I was at 84 a moment ago. Awesome. That's cool. 84 is what we hit on Wednesday night. What a treat for Saturday lunchtime. 82 people. Come on, hit that like button. Absolutely. Hit the like button if you like this content. Let's see. Hello from Boston area. Ellen's Healthy Kitchen, working with Coach Ty Myers. Awesome. Love your channel. Ty's great. Ty's great. Oh, hey, I got a question for you guys. For those who are here, thinking about doing something, and I actually talked to Ty about it. What do you think about me doing a live stream? So some of you may know that I did some live streams where I brought on a guest in the past. I did this back in January, December, November. I think I did it like 8, 9 times, something like that. Brought on some guests. Had Brian Johnson was on. I had my son came on, Maggie McCormick, Alexa Saranoia, Kevin Colby. Those were some of the people I brought on. What do you think about the idea of me doing a live stream where I bring several other creators on, several of those people? I've talked to 2 already. I was thinking of bringing maybe 3 others for the first time. So there's like 4 of us in a live stream, and we almost have like a round table chat about how it's going with each of us. Like, what am I working on? What are you working on? What works best for you, right? And you guys can listen in and perhaps ask questions. I think that'd be fun. But again, I got to make videos and do live streams for my audience. So you guys can let me know what you think of that idea. That would be great, but something I'm thinking about. Family is calling. Have a great time. Have fun with your family. That would be a good show, Rob, with several guests. Oh, yes, please, Rob. Would love that idea. Yes, would love to watch that. Cool. Yes, a webinar. I wasn't thinking a webinar. I've never done a webinar. I don't know. Maybe I've never been a huge fan of webinars, but I might do something like that. Hey, Rob, do what you want. I'm here for the lobster. I don't think you can get close enough. Waves are too big to give us one. I'm interested when we're both free. Rob, that's an interesting idea, and you could re-invite people you already had on. Yeah, and do different people each time, and try to have a mix of very successful creators and creators just starting out, and some in the middle. Like, I don't know, there's all kinds of different ways we could do it, and there could be 4 people, there could be 5. So the way that works, I'll explain this a little bit. When I have somebody on a live stream, I live stream through Ecamm Live when I'm back. I would not do that from here. I would need my computer, my MacBook. I use Ecamm Live, that's software, live streaming software on my Mac. I would also use Zoom. Okay, I would start up a Zoom meeting, and I would invite these guests into the Zoom meeting, and once they all come in, I can assign each one of them to a spot in a scene that I create in Ecamm Live. Okay, so I could even build how it looks. I could create like a poker table with like 10 people all the way around it, and our little individual video in each one, which would be taken from the Zoom video. Okay, and the audio would come in too. 10 might be a little bit much because the people would be very small. But yeah, I should be able to click each one of them and highlight one at a time, whoever's speaking. That would be cool. But what I'm thinking initially is just to have a grid, 4 people, 1, 2, 3, 4, with our names. Okay, and I hear a plane. It's too cloudy. Yeah, so that's how I do that. And I don't know what the limit is. It might be 10. There might be a limit of 10. I'm not sure. 10 other people. Ellen has used StreamYard and loved it, but I'm definitely interested in Ecamm and have been thinking about trying it. So I've used StreamYard too. I used to use that that's what I used when I first started. And there's a lot of good things about StreamYard. You can display people's chat messages like you can in Ecamm. It's simple. StreamYard is browser based, so there is a bit of a disconnect there. You stream to StreamYard, StreamYard streams to YouTube. That's kind of how that works. But it means you don't have to download software. Ecamm is software you download. Ecamm is a lot more flexible in building scenes. Like with StreamYard, there's presets. And if you want to do picture-in-picture, from what I remember, there wasn't much customizability to that in StreamYard, whereas you have full control over how you customize that in Ecamm. But both of them allow you to put, bring in other videos or bring in overlays, logos, and all that stuff. You would have to be a good host and moderator so things don't get crazy. Yeah, I think it'd be fun. Hey, it's a challenge. I've never done anything like that before, but I had never done a one-on-one interview before either until I did with Alexa. Was the first one I had on back. It was either November or December, and it went just fine. Right, and I just came right up front, and I even said to her, we chatted before, and I said, like, I am not, excuse me, my nose is running. I'm not an expert interviewer at all, so we're just going to have a chat. If there's anything you don't want me to ask you before, let me know ahead of time, or, stuff like that. So you just kind of set the end, and I would say, okay, so anyways, if I brought other people in, we would have a little chat ahead of time and kind of discuss what we're going to talk about and how we're going to do it. But yeah, and if there's anything anybody doesn't want to talk about, they don't have to. And if they could tell us ahead of time. Like, for instance, some people don't like sharing revenue numbers. Some people are very open with that, right? Like, you don't want to ask, but again, like if somebody asks me for something that I don't want to share, I'll just say, yeah, no, I'm not going to share that today, right? I would just, it's no big deal. But so anyways, you kind of set the ground rules first, and then have a chat. And the way it works is, I would have a bunch of questions prepared, and have a chat back and forth. But then I'd say, and the viewers will likely have questions, so we could take some of them. Now, there's probably going to be a whole lot more questions coming in. There's no way we'd be able to get to all of them, but get to as many as we can. And maybe with something like that, I would even have a form ahead of time with questions that you guys can answer ahead of the stream. That's another way you can do that. That's what Nick Nimmin does, which I think is a good idea. Thank you, William. I appreciate the compliment. Question from Peter. How did you reach out to Alexa to discuss the interview? How did I do that? I don't remember. I think just from her YouTube channel. She has her email there, and I've got mine in mine. So that's the thing. If you want to do collaborations with people on your YouTube channel, you typically want to have a way for people to contact you. My nose is running. So for me, if you click the About section on my channel, you can click to get my email address, and I think you have to press a little checkbox that says you're not a robot. And she probably has something like that as well. I can't remember. That's probably how I reached out to her. That's how I reached out to all the people that I set up those calls with. So yeah, some people, I mean, I don't use Instagram that much, but I do have a link to my Instagram account that I set up for this channel for people who are more used to communicating that way. If anybody wants to communicate with me through Instagram, they can, like DMs and stuff. So yeah, however you want to, if you want to have people reach out to you, then you need to make yourself available. So whether you want to get contacted by email or Instagram or Twitter or X or Facebook or whatever, you would want to put that on your page somewhere. Don't you get spammed like crazy having your email public? So yes. Gmail is pretty good at, or not Gmail, it's workwith@robthemaritimer.com. That's the email address I put out there. And I tell you, I get a lot of people who want to edit my videos for me, and they'll do the first one for free, and a lot of thumbnail designers out there who contact me all the time. So I consider that spam. Like, that's not, I don't, like, it takes me 5 minutes to make a thumbnail. Why would I outsource that and have to wait a day to get it back? Like, there's no way I would do that. And editing videos, I just, like, if you're going to be doing complicated edits, then maybe you want a video editor. But for what I'm doing, like, my video edits are not complicated, and I just, quite honestly, if I sourced that out, then I wouldn't know how to do it. So I like doing it myself. It's all part of, I like doing it. So anyways, yes, you do get some spam, but they're easily deleted, blocked, whatever you want to do. And you don't get that much. I mean, I might get 10 to 15 a day. You know, it doesn't bother me too much. Question from Nicola. Rob, I'm really planning to do live cooking 2 times a week. You know, I'm camera shy. Would bringing my husband in to create confusion? I'm more comfortable opening up that way, initially at least. Absolutely, you can bring him in. Yeah, that'd be totally fine. Oh, welcome Vicesio C, a new crew member. That popped up just so you guys can see. Nice, big, and green on my screen. That's cool. Welcome. We're doing a members only live stream Wednesday. That's the next one. So hopefully to see you there. So yeah, absolutely. Bring your husband in. If that makes you more comfortable, that's totally fine. I had a coaching call with a couple last night, actually, and they're a husband and wife, and they plan on doing lives and making videos. I thought I heard like a bark or something behind me. Maybe that was a seal. Anyway, I got sidetracked there. What was it? Oh yeah, so I talked to this husband and wife, and the way they're going to do it is she's going to be on screen all the time, but he's going to be kind of in the background feeding her questions. He's going to be monitoring the chat while she's standing further away from the camera with like a whiteboard kind of thing and talking and teaching that way. So that's another way you can do it. And he may or may not have a mic on him so people can hear him. I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but they could do it either way. So yeah, if that makes you more comfortable, that's totally fine. Totally fine. Audacity training. As an introvert thinking about, what is your name again, Audacity? Is it Mike? I want to say it's Mike. Oh, Audacity training with Mike. Hi, Mike. Sorry about that. As an introvert, thinking about putting an email address out there is a little overwhelming. Yeah. Okay, so I would create an email address solely for that purpose. Okay? Like again, mine is workwith@robthemaritimer.com. If things get out of hand, I can change it. Okay? I own my domain name. I can create other email addresses for that domain name if I ever need to. And some companies do that. They'll sometimes have to do that. I wouldn't use your personal email address for that. Right? So yeah, create one. And Gmail addresses are free. You can create another Gmail address. So you could have audacitytraining@gmail.com. Like create that, it'll be free, and that could be the one that you put out there for everybody. Okay? So just an idea. Nothing behind you from our point of view. No. No, just big waves. big waves. But I have seen seals right out there before. And usually when I'm not here, there's lots of seagulls and stuff out here too. So you kind of have to watch where you sit. Mike, yeah, sorry Mike, it was right in your name. Good idea, yeah. Awesome. What do we got now? Have we passed 84? Oh, we're down to 68. All right, all the Aussies are going to bed, which I get. Can I read this with, I wonder if I can make this bigger. If I can make my live chat bigger, what if I held it this way? Okay, that's not bad. Can I pinch and zoom this? No. If anybody knows how I can get my live chat bigger, then I would not have to wear my reading glasses. I can almost read it without them if I hold it far enough away. One Aussie's still awake. See, I can see that. Merity? Better with glasses though. Merity. All right. Must be getting late though. Well, Australia is a big country. Like, how many time zones are in Australia? 3? There are, there's 5 in Canada. 6 actually, 6. 1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think there's 6. Hello from Orlando, hello. Where you I become a member? 3. Okay, so yeah, I'm jumping all over the place. Mary, you said the 3 time zones. Okay, very good. Yeah, it's a big country. And a big north-south too, whereas Canada's pretty big too, but it's very wide. I think all you can do with the chat is pop it out. Yeah, I think you're right. And on the iPad, I don't even see where I can pop it out. Oh, there's settings. If I hit that. No, don't want to do that. Newfoundland is only half a time change. That's right, yes. Yeah, Newfoundland is, so it is almost 9:30 here, so it's almost 10 a.m. in Newfoundland, but it is, so it's 9:30 here, it is 8:30 in Toronto and Montreal, it is 7:30 in Winnipeg, it is 6:30 in Alberta, like Calgary and Edmonton, and 5:30 in Vancouver. There you go. Yes, 3 in Australia. I'm headed to bed as well. Love your video. What time is it in Australia right now? So 3 time zones. What time is it? I'm just curious. 9:30 maybe? PM? Question from Drivin' MIA. Oh, 1:24 p.m. in Portugal. Yeah. 10 p.m. in the future in Australia. Okay, 10 p.m. Cool. Question from, oh, wait now. What advice do you have for people who don't know what they should make their channel about and also are afraid to talk on the camera? You know what? That's what the afraid to talk to people on the camera is what I make a lot of my videos about. I guess my biggest advice, well, okay, so first the niche, pick something that you are passionate about so that you can always have fun making videos about it. So that's, I guess, my best advice there. And something that you're passionate about, perhaps know a thing or two about, and then make videos that help other people understand what it all, like teaching people about it. If you can think of something to do, if you can think along those terms, where you can make videos that help people do these things or to know about the topic you want to make videos about, then your channel will have the best chance of growing. But what that topic is, it's personal to you. So figure out, like maybe brainstorm, write down all the things you're passionate about. Like maybe there's a hobby you really enjoy. What do you like to do in your spare time when you're not at work? Or maybe you love your work, like maybe something to do with work. Or maybe a sport that you are interested in. You can make videos around that. Yeah, something you're passionate about. That would be my, the best thing to do, and then help other people who might also be interested in that. Another idea is if you is a little bit of a darker idea, but let's say somebody has had a health scare or relationship issues or any issues that maybe you've gone through and have learned from or experienced. Maybe it was a bad experience, maybe it was a good experience, whatever. It's something that maybe you didn't know what the outcome was going to be. Well, think that there's probably people out there who are about to go through whatever it is you've gone through and may be on YouTube looking for help, right? You could maybe help them, right? Make videos to kind of help people through whatever journey it is you've gone through or are going through. Maybe you're going through something. You can make videos to kind of help people along with that. You can document your own journey, but meantime, share what you learn as you go, right? Another idea. Let's see. Okay, no, I missed. Just Googled it. Oh, Rob, you would have to go to your YouTube settings and change the font size, which would affect the font in all your YouTube things. That's okay. Maybe I'll look at doing that. When I set this iPad up, I did bump up the font size. I think there's 4 options. I went to the highest, so that helps. But yeah, that's all I'm using this for. Like it only shows the live in one side, right? Like right here in the one side. The bigger area, it shows me like 10 seconds ago, but I don't need to see that. Let's see. What is your time zone called, Rob? It's Atlantic. I don't know if it's Standard Time or Daylight. Atlantic Time. Atlantic Standard Time, so AST, which is an hour later than EST, Eastern Standard Time, which is probably the most populous time zone in North America, because that's where New York and Boston and Miami and also Montreal and Toronto up here in Canada, all of the majority of the population of both Canada and the United States is in the Eastern time zone. I mean, the Western or Pacific time zone is pretty big too, with California. And let's see, what else we got here? I thought of making videos on depression, anxiety, mental health, self-improvement stuff. Great ideas, great ideas. Lots of people struggle with those sorts of things and are on YouTube, right? Looking for help. So absolutely. But my life sucks, so it feels like imposter, but my greatest passion is to fix my own life. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear you're feeling that way, but if you can try to think that there are people out there going through what you're going through. It may not feel like that sometimes. Sometimes you might feel like it's just you and you're alone in this and all that, but there's a lot of people, especially today, with technology the way it is, and everyone's on social media, and I'm probably not helping. You guys are all on your phones watching me, but you know what I mean, though? There's a lot of people on social media all the time and maybe getting bad information, maybe getting caught up in arguments with strangers on Facebook about politics and religion. Like, those are bad ones, and you can just get caught up in all this negativity, and people get down listening to and watching all that stuff. And yeah, but so knowing that, and even though that you may be feeling that way yourself, know that there's a lot of other people who also feel that way, and maybe at, maybe not to the stage you are, and maybe well past the stage you are, who could really use some help. So by you sharing your feelings and thoughts and your journey through all this can probably really help a lot of people. And at the same time, grow a channel for you. And you may find that rewarding too. Not even just the whole growing your channel thing, but the fact that you'd be helping people out. Anyway, I think there's a huge need for stuff like that today, I feel. So maybe that's something you can do too. The need to master our mental health cannot be overemphasized. The same things are experienced by many out there. Absolutely, absolutely. What do I do with videos that get dislikes? Nothing. Don't do anything. Don't even worry about it. I get them. The people who dislike your video are, maybe that makes them feel better by doing that, or maybe they actually don't like your video, but don't even worry about it. Just the they're gone. There's nothing you can do about it. It's okay. Doesn't matter. Just focus on the likes. There's going to be people out there who dislike everything. That's just the way they are, and it's because there's something wrong in their life. That's the way you should look at it, because that's usually the case. It's nothing. It's not that you're doing anything wrong. It's usually that there's something going on negative in their life, and they feel like they have to lash out to strangers, right? So try not to let that bother you. There must be a balance between self-care and selflessness. That's interesting. Yeah, absolutely. Barbara says, thank you, Rob. Just now popping on. You are a great encourager. Thank you. Sound great, by the way. Awesome. That's the mic. Can you guys see it? It's right there, the DJI mic. I've got it hidden underneath my my sweater, like an extra big dead cat on my mic. Or wind guard. I like dislikes and negative comments, LOL. Doesn't affect me. Good for you. It shouldn't, because it doesn't matter. They don't matter. Their engagement, right? Like, in a weird way, it probably helps your channel. It's all engagement, and YouTube loves it when people engage with your videos. Likes, dislikes, doesn't matter. You will get more dislikes when you go into politics or religion. Yeah, absolutely you will. That's a surefire way to guarantee you lose half your audience if you start talking politics or religion, or, well, I'm thinking mostly politics, but anything that can be controversial for some, I recommend staying away from. I know some people want to do channels on stuff like that, and go for it, but it's not something I'm ever going to venture into. Question, is live streaming always in 1080p or less resolution? So this one is 1080p. The one I did on, what does that say? Oh, that was just a notification from YouTube Studio. Yeah, this is 1080p. The one I did on Wednesday night was 720p, but that was an accident. I didn't have my settings set properly. I don't know of anybody who streams in 4K. I don't know of anybody who streams larger than, like in greater resolution than 1080p, mostly because it would chew up a lot of extra bandwidth and data, okay? I'm streaming from my iPhone, which is connected to the mobile network in this area, the cell phone towers. And I've got a pretty decent data plan, so that helps. And I don't know how much data this is going to use. Maybe, I want to say maybe 1 or 2 gigabytes for a couple of hours or something like that. I'm not sure, but where was I going with that? Oh yeah, streaming in 4K. The problem is the people who watch your stream. Even if you could stream in 4K, there's probably very few people who could watch it in 4K. So it's not usually necessary. Like, you guys probably don't need to see this in 4K, although when I make a video out here, I will make that in 4K, just for those who may be watching on a big screen TV, it would look better. Yeah, that's, maybe 4K streaming will become more prevalent in the future. I don't know, but yeah, it's maybe, I think data prices would have to come down for that to be more worthwhile. What type of iPhone? That's the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And I upgraded it in January. I used to have the 14 Pro Max because I need it big because of my reading eyes aren't so good anymore. But yeah, the battery seems to be great on this. I'll let you know when I go home. So this has been over an hour and a half. I'll let you know when I go home what the battery ended up at, but I started at around 95%. This iPad's down to 64%. If this quits, by the way, it's because my battery died. I don't think it will, but again, I've got no wood to knock on. I only have an iPhone 12. That's totally fine. iPhone 12, the battery may not be quite as good, but the camera is fabulous on the 12. It's fabulous. It's a 4K 60 camera, I think. So 4K 30 is all you need to make videos. 1080p is all you need to go live. Yeah, anybody with an iPhone, I think, starting with the 12, the cameras are phenomenal, and that's all you need to make videos on YouTube. That's all you need. You don't need these $3,000 and $4,000 and $5,000 cameras, these full frame DSLR cameras that a lot of very established YouTubers use. You know, they're great cameras and all, I'm sure. I don't have one. I have a mirrorless camera, which is a crop sensor camera. It was a little more reasonable, but still, I think it was $1,200 for that and the lens. And I bought that before I was even really established in YouTube. If I were to do it again, I wouldn't have bought that. I'm glad I have it now because I use it when I live stream. But all of my outdoor videos I make with this phone. And with like before January, all my videos were made with the 14 Pro Max. I use the DJI Mic 2. Great mic. This is the predecessor to that. This is the one, DJI Mic 1. I'm upgrading to 16 Pro and I get my retirement money in 3 weeks. Awesome. You're going to love it. Appreciate you starting your day with all of us. No problem, Lori. Oh, hey, Lori. How you doing? Good to see you. Terry Miller, I like to watch you because you're authentic and real like one of us. Appreciate that. Thanks, Terry. I try to be. You know what? I decided a while ago that the easiest person in the world for me to try to be when I make my videos is myself. The first videos I ever made, I was trying to be somebody else. I was trying to be who I thought I needed to be. A little more acting, a little more polished and scripted, and you know, those videos flopped and they were very hard to make. This is easy to make. I'm just being myself, and I think viewers appreciate when you're being yourself, and it's also easier to be yourself than anybody else. Did I miss any other questions? Sorry. What do we got? 83. This says 83 watching. What does this say? 83. Okay, I guess that's current. Awesome. Did we pass 84? Because 84 was the record for an outdoor stream that I did Wednesday night. Just saying good morning from Duluth. It's a beautiful day here and fish are biting. Camera will be rolling soon. See you Tuesday. Squaretail Fishing TV. See you Tuesday. I see you remember too, so see you Wednesday too if you want. That's when the members live stream will be. I never watch anything above 1080p as my eyes are only 720p anyways. Yeah, there's truth to that. No matter what you make videos about, there will always be a minority who want to try to bring you down. My advice would be to treat them as a barometer that you are doing something right. That's a good point. That's actually a really good point, because before my videos started doing well on YouTube, I didn't get negative comments. I hardly got any comments. But as soon as you start getting lots of comments, there's going to be a percentage of them that are negative. And again, it's no reflection on you. The people who leave negative comments don't typically subscribe, so you'll never hear from them again anyway. Just a couple things that might help. What else we got here? Wise words, be yourself. Too much AI stuff out there. That's right, there is. The sun is just now coming up in Arizona. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Lisa. And yeah, I guess the sun is up somewhere, but it's hidden in the clouds here. It's 20 to 10 now. 89. Oh, cool. Thanks, Frankie. 88 watching. Oh, William said 89. 88. Hi from Vancouver. Hello, Vancouver. How you doing? Checking in from Marco Island, Florida. Awesome. How you doing, Tom? Good to see you again. When I live stream, my Chromebook always loses battery pretty fast. Yeah, live stream. So one of the things that ChatGPT suggested I do is close all my apps before I do this. I forgot to do that. I think there's a bunch of apps running in that phone. So again, we'll see how much battery I have left. Religion can actually attract many good people. Politics, on the other hand, I see lots of different views and sometimes some nasty people. Yeah, yeah. So I've never really watched religious channels, but politics can be very toxic, especially in the United States, because there are two very different sides, right? And if you're not one, you're the other, and there's not many people in between, it seems, if you watch the news. So I try not to even watch the news anymore. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Religion, I just think of like the wars and stuff going on all around the world that are often religion based, which kind of sucks. But kind of lucky in this part of the world, like in here. I mean, there's lots of churches around. This is generally a Christian area, but you know, people they don't tend to be as religious as maybe they were in years past. But the thing is, people in this area, I shouldn't even be getting into this, but I will. In this part of the world, people are very tolerant no matter what religion people are, and it's just not something people even ask, right? You know, you can't tell what religion people are by looking at them, and it's just not something people talk about. So, and it doesn't matter, like, anyway, I could go on and on about that kind of stuff because I have my own thoughts, but everybody has their own thoughts, and I feel like everybody should have their own thoughts, but people don't need to get upset at other people if their thoughts don't match their thoughts, and you know, anyway, probably going down a rabbit hole I shouldn't, but we'll see. I'm not a religious channel, but I have covered info on lifestyles, which include info about religion. Okay, cool. Calm and relax. Hello from Nova Scotia, Canada. I've been watching your channel and you are doing a great job. Welcome. Also from Nova Scotia, Canada. I'm in St. Margaret's Bay. Well, next to St. Margaret's Bay. I could have started an exclusive gardening channel, but I talk about God so much I had to put him in my channel name so there isn't any confusion and they know what to expect. Very good point. Good point. Yeah. Good point. I mentioned to my wife the other day that it's strange that political leaders have to be voted for by the people they will be leading, but religious leaders are elected by their peers. Interesting way to look at that, yeah. People need to mind their business and carry on. And that's generally what people do around here. Many Christian channels do Bible studies. I think they became popular during the pandemic as people were unable to get to church. That makes a lot of sense. Hello from the UK, Maggie the Caddy. How you doing, Maggie? Good to see you. Politics and religion can generate a lot of engagement, but it takes a very special personality to succeed in those niches, not for the faint of heart. Yeah, well said. At my Sunday, at my grandparents' Sunday dinner table, we could talk about anything except politics and religion. A good principle to live by. And I actually grew up hearing that. I think it was my grandparents actually once said that. That must have been a thing that was said a lot back in yesteryear. But yeah, generally one of the rules of thumb when you meet people, new people, or if you're at a function or a work thing or whatever, because I was in sales when I was an engineer. I was a sales engineer, and for an HVAC company, and so I would meet clients and stuff like that. And my boss would say, "Yeah, no, don't. If you don't know somebody, you're just getting to know them." Like, so I had training on how to talk to people and stuff like that. And they'd say, you know, don't get into religion or politics. Those are the two things you want to stay away from because you don't know. You don't know if somebody who you may want from a business point of view, you may want to be a client. But if they are, you know, very pro one way versus and negative on the other on any of, you know, religion or politics, it might not work out. Canadians are cool. Yes, we are cool. I could just stop you right there. Yes, we are cool. They don't let anything faze them. What are you doing? Does that affect me? No. Then I don't care. You do you. Yeah. And not only that, it's not, I don't care and walk away. It's, okay, cool, I don't care. What else you want to talk about, right? Like, you can still be friends with people and just not talk about certain things. Or you can talk about it and have an intelligent conversation and see both sides, right? So, anyway. Rob, I'm late. Just woke up. Oh, français plus facile. We'll have to watch from the start. Interested in the topic for the future. Not sure yet. Welcome. I think you're in Montreal, right? I watched one of your videos, or most of it, yesterday. You're doing great, by the way. Although my French is a little rusty. Je parle un peu de français, mais pas beaucoup. I grew up in Eastern Canada, and in Canada, for those who don't know, in Canada, Canada's a bilingual country. Interestingly though, not every province is bilingual. There's only one bilingual province in Canada. There's 10 provinces. New Brunswick is the only bilingual province in Canada. Both French and English are official languages. Quebec, or Quebec, is not bilingual. Its main language is French, and all the other provinces, including Nova Scotia, the main language is English. But I think in all provinces you learn both languages. So I took French I actually went to school in New Brunswick for a while, so I took French immersion for a couple years when I was younger. So I learned some French that way. Bravo. Merci beaucoup. Et le bout. I learned a lot of French by watching hockey games on TV. I was a Quebec Nordiques fan. If you're into hockey, they're long gone. They're now in Colorado. Rob, I am a proud American. Good for you, Georgia fan. Good to be proud of where you're from. I'm a proud Canadian, you're a proud American. It's all good. I love America. There's lots of beautiful places down there. How do you get to unwind? Quite honestly, if it's the evening, I could make myself a drink and go sit down by the water. That I would unwind that way. Go for walks. I love going for walks. That I unwind that way. I haven't been able to get out much this week because the weather's not been great. Don Cherry, legend. Haven't heard much from him in a while. He was he went down a path. I used to like his commentary. He got a little bit what's the word? Controversial, I think. So he's probably getting up there in age. Yeah, I wonder if he's 90 yet. He's getting up there in age. Do you outsource your videos, thumbnails for editing? No, I do not. I do all that myself. And I wouldn't have it any other way. And I suggest everybody else do your own too, because it's not hard. It takes me 5 minutes to make a thumbnail, sometimes less. Actually, I spend most of my time on my thumbnails looking for the perfect screenshot in my video, because I don't spend a lot of time. Like a lot of times when you make a video, what you could do before you actually start recording is you could start your video recording and then make all kinds of different facial expressions. Like I could get up to the camera and go, or, and then, oh, this, and do all the, go through all, and then you pick whatever one suits the video you made, right? And grab the screenshot of that. But I don't do that. So maybe I should, but what I typically do is I just grab a screenshot where I'm happy with whatever facial expression I got on, or what the background is, or what the coloring was like. So sometimes I spend too much time settling on that, but then bring it into Canva, add some text, Bob's your uncle, done. The Lions are going to win the Super Bowl in 2026. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I went to their home opener last year. I don't think I'm getting there this year, but yeah, been a big Lions fan for a long time. They're a good team, but they messed up in the playoffs last year. Okay, I do screenshots too, but the expressions not so much. British girl, that's a great idea. Rob, Canada is obviously part of the Commonwealth. What British habits, if any, remain strong where you are, apart from obvious ones like language? That's a good question. Yeah, so a little history lesson from what I know. I like history, but anyway, Canada has been a country since 1867. All right, before that, so we're 100 years, U.S. is 1776, right? July 4th. Canada is 1867, July 1st, that's Canada Day. So 150, 160 years old is all we are. Before that, we were a colony or part of the British Commonwealth from the UK. And yes, so there are some things. What are some of the things? I know a lot of people watch Coronation Street TV show that's filmed in the UK, but a lot of particularly Maritimers watch that. I mean, technically, we have our own government, but our head of state is the King of England. I was going to say Queen, but it's been King now for a couple of years, since the the Queen passed. So technically, but it's a figurehead thing, right? Like Canada still makes their own decisions, but like we recently got a new Prime Minister voted in and sworn in, and then he has to be sworn in by, I think it's the Governor General, who is a representative of the King, but is actually Canadian. I don't know. So we're still interconnected. But that wasn't really your question. It was more, where to go? Yeah, British habits. See, I don't even know really what British habits are. Some of the things we say, I suppose, because there's a lot, I mean, quite like habits-wise, language, I'm trying to think of things that would be different, like, because there's a lot of, I don't know why this is popping into my head, like French fries. We say French fries. In the UK, they say chips, okay? But here we have fish and chips. Fish and chips is something people have, it's pub food, very popular here. It's typically here, it would be haddock is the fish and it's deep fried, and the chips are actually fries. But like if I were to go to McDonald's here, I would get a Big Mac and fries, okay? But in the UK, I think they say probably burger and chips, right? Here, chips means potato chips. Whereas in the UK, I think for potato chips, they call them crisps. All right, so there's differences that way, whereas a lot of the things we say here in Canada, I think are probably closer to what they say in the United States. Like French fries. I think in the States they call it French fries. It's only one minor thing. I just had something that is similar. Oh, a lot of the things that we still do, like English, the language, we still spell a lot of our words the same way they spell them in the UK. Like color, C-O-L-O-U-R, whereas in the States, you don't use the U. A lot of words in Canada end in O-U-R, but in the States, it's O-R. Color, humor, favor, things like that. Spelling, some spellings are like stabilization. Here we put the Z in stabilization. And I don't know if Z is right or if Z is right. One of those is a Canadian or UK term and one is an American term. I get them both mixed up because we say them interchangeably, Z or Z. But stabilization, we spell it with a Z. I believe in the UK they spell it with a Z, with an S. So I think Z or Z spelling of that is Canada and the US, but not the UK and not Australia. I don't know. Like there's a. Anyways, I don't know if I answered your question, but Georgia fan, burger or burger? Oh, ER. We say ER, but you're right. There's a lot of words that we end them with RE, which is the English way to do it, which ironically is also the French way to do it. You said Bob's your uncle a moment ago. Not Canadian, not British, actually American. Just saw a video on that. Well, we are heavily influenced by the Americans because 90% of our television is American, right? Like we do have CBC and CTV, so Canadian Broadcasting Corporation and Canadian Television, CTV. But we also get NBC, ABC, CBS, PBS, CNN, all of, like when you get cable, we get, most of the TV channels are American. Our sports channel is TSN, but that's owned by ESPN. So, you know, a lot of the broadcasting is similar. We get more American broadcasting than we do British broadcasting, for sure. Spell check likes to try to correct us to the US spelling sometimes. Yes, it does. And I struggle with that a little bit because I know most of my audience is American, right? So sometimes, and I feel bad about this because I'm Canadian and I shouldn't, but sometimes I do the American spelling of things like favorable, favor. You know, I should spell it with a U, O-U-R, but in the States it's O-R. And some diehard Canadians or Brits might be upset at me for that, but British girl, they were shocked. Wait, you're going to eat sausages, bacon, beans, mushrooms, eggs, and toast for breakfast? LOL. I'm going to go home and make myself some scrambled eggs with bacon and raisin toast. That's what I'm going to do. Wow. Funny where we end up going with our chats. Since you started this live, I've showered, cooked lunch, ate lunch, now planting my herbs. Awesome. Addicted to the community. UK and Australia use the S. Okay. And I learned that actually when I was doing subtitling through Fiverr for other people's videos. I would subtitle their videos, and I would send somebody in Australia their video, and they said, can you redo this, please, and use the correct Australian spelling? And it was like the Z versus the S that I got wrong. Yay, he called it Z. Tell me, is Z UK and Z is American? Is that right? Because in Canada, we say them both. In Canada, we call it Z, health and wealth Z. It is Z. Z is just the sound Z makes. Isn't that right? When living in Canada, I made a full English breakfast and people were like, wait, you're going to eat all of that? Breakfast should be the biggest meal of the day, right? That's where you get all your energy from. Yes, we say chips. Bitter. I'm starting to get bitterly cold. If the Oilers make it to the finals, I'm going to live stream some of the games. Careful with that because that's probably copyright issues. What some people do though is they'll live stream themselves talking about the game and watching the game. That's sometimes a fun thing to do. Interesting. For those who don't know, the Oilers are the Edmonton Oilers. It's a hockey team in the NHL. Canada is big into hockey, although we just lost to, I think, the Dutch in the World Hockey Championships. What happens with the World Hockey Championships with us? Canada still has their, like the NHL still has their playoffs going on. So the only players we send over to the Worlds are the players that didn't make the playoffs here. So all our best players are still here. That's my excuse anyways for Canada losing. But yeah, Edmonton Oilers are still in the playoffs. So we're down to 4 teams, and that's the only Canadian team left. And it's been like 35 years since the Canadian team has won. So it's time. I'm usually a Toronto fan, but going for Edmonton now. What else we got here? Maple Leafs. Yeah, is that are you crying laughing? Yeah, I'm more just, you know what? The Maple Leafs lose every year. I couldn't believe it. I mean, you're in Montreal. Montreal beat them a couple years ago. Or that was a pandemic year when Toronto was really good and Montreal wasn't. And then Montreal went right to the final. Anyway, I've never liked the Canadians. I'm sorry if you're a Habs fan because I was a Nordique fan. And Nordique fans and Canadians fans didn't. So anyways, yeah, Toronto loses every year. But and I used to get upset about it, but now I expect it. And I just tell people I'm a football fan now. Detroit Lions, go Lions. Had enough of the Maple Leafs. Canada versus USA in ice hockey is always great for a good fight. LOL, 3 fights the first 9 seconds. That was unbelievable. That's the one thing I don't love about hockey. I mean, I know it's a very Canadian thing to do, hockey, and yeah, oh, they fight. People talk about how violent American football is, but really they're dressed like gladiators with all this gear on, whereas hockey, I mean, people are punching each other in the face. And you know, growing up, you know, oh yeah, that's tough. Canadian hockey players, very tough and all that, but I don't know, maybe it's my age starting to creep in, but is that really necessary? I don't know. I used to play hockey a lot until I was, I don't know, 15. I loved it, but, and I was pretty good. I was big, so I mean, I'm not a small guy. That's an asset when you're a hockey player. Hockey is fast, yeah. What I hear, I love football too. Football is a lot more strategic than I used to give it credit for. But the thing I hear from a lot of Americans who've never really been who are trying to get into hockey but never were, like say the southern states where football is the or baseball are the sports. A lot of them will say, I love hockey, but it's so fast and I just can't follow the puck, because it's so small. And it's true, it's a lot smaller than a football, and it is a lot harder to see and follow. I get that. Hi, Rob, watching you from Jamaica. Awesome. I don't think there's much hockey being played in Jamaica. I remember the Clint Malarchuk incident, horrific. Oh yeah, that was unbelievable. Yeah, he got his throat cut by a skate, an accidental thing, and it was horrific. But yeah, he used to be a Nordique. Canadians are nice and polite until you get them on the ice. That's right, don't cross us on the ice. Didn't Canada beat the US in the Four Nations? Yes, we did. Yeah. Let's see, what else we got? We say Z in the US? Wait, Z is Z. Yeah, you're gonna have to spell it out. If you spell it out, I think you say it Z-E-E, right? Z instead of Z. Yeah, yeah. Writing Life's Next Chapter said it. I think the US is just about the only country that calls it Z. That is what it sounds like, so I guess it makes sense. Go Panthers. I'm from South Florida. Awesome. I actually saw the Maple Leafs play the Panthers in Miami. Oh geez, that must be close to 20 years ago now. And there were a lot of Maple Leaf fans in the stands because there's a lot of Canadians in Florida in the wintertime. A lot. Canadians and Americans walking down the street on a December day trying to body check each other. 93 people watching. You know what, guys? I hate to leave. Yeah, William just said that too. But I'm going to have to go because I'm starting to get cold. And I don't know about you guys, but I got things to do today. Might make a video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if I should do more of these and what time of day is best. Like, this is Saturday morning. I was thinking I might do some evening ones outside here, maybe midweek. If that works for you guys, let me know. Pick this up. Oh, stretch my legs. I have some big waves. You guys see those waves? No, right there, rolling in. The boat's gone. So yeah, anyways, thanks for stopping in. I'm gonna pack up and go make me those bacon and eggs and raisin toast, if you guys don't mind. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. I gotta get my glove off so I can end this, see what I'm doing. All right, guys, thanks again, and we'll see you next time. So yeah, next, so I going live Tuesday at 1 o'clock, Wednesday for the members at 1 o'clock Eastern time, and maybe an evening stream sometime next week, and then a video or two. We'll see. Thanks for stopping in, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.